Hello and welcome. She thought she had found love, but when she refused to end her pregnancy, the man she trusted plotted her murder. A mother's last stand, a shocking betrayal, and a fight for justice. This is the story of Naledi Khumalo. In the bustling town of Marange, Zimbabwe, Naledi Khumalo was more than just a mother. She was a fighter, a provider, and the heart of her family. At 32 years old, she balanced her demanding job as a nurse with a small fashion business, working tirelessly to give her two sons, Tinashe, 15, and Kudakwashe, 12, the life they deserved. She had endured hardships, but through it all, her warmth and resilience never faded. To those who knew her, she was a pillar of strength. What no one could have predicted was that the same love and trust that defined her would lead to the ultimate betrayal. After parting ways with her first husband, Naledi met Tafara Dube, a charming, successful businessman who seemed to embody everything she had longed for. He was generous with gifts, affectionate in words, and promised her a future filled with stability and love. At first, her sons were wary of him, hesitant to accept a new father figure. But Tafara was persuasive, winning their trust over time. Naledi, too, let down her guard, believing she had finally found someone who would cherish not just her, but her children as well. But love, as she would soon learn, can be a beautiful illusion, one that shatters when the truth is revealed. 2 years into their relationship, Naledi discovered she was pregnant. Unlike her past pregnancies, this time she was overwhelmed with joy. She had always wanted a daughter. She named her unborn child Anele, meaning the one who completes us. But when she told Tafara the news, his reaction was chilling. "I never wanted another child," he spat, his once affectionate eyes now cold. Naledi blinked, taken aback. This was not the Tafara she knew. "What are you saying?" she asked, searching his face for some sign of regret. "You should get rid of it," he said bluntly. For a moment her world tilted. The man she had trusted, the man she had let into her home, was standing before her as a stranger. "I will not do that," she said firmly. "This is my child. If you don't want to be in her life, that's your choice." From that day forward, everything changed. Tafara's love turned into resentment, suspicion, and rage. He accused her of betrayal, of trapping him with the pregnancy. The late-night calls stopped. The affectionate gestures vanished. His visits became rare, and when he did come around, his presence was filled with anger and cold stares. Then there were the threats. "You'll regret this, Naledi," he warned one evening before storming out. Her instincts screamed that something was wrong. She felt watched. A car she didn't recognize parked near her home too often. The air felt heavier, but she brushed off her fears, convincing herself that Tafara's ego was just wounded, that he would eventually move on. She was wrong. While Naledi was preparing for the arrival of her baby girl, Tafara was plotting her end. He reached out to Simba, an old childhood friend known for his violent ways, and Chennai, Simba's fiercely loyal girlfriend. Together, they devised a plan, one so horrifying that even Tafara, once the doting lover, had no hesitation. Naledi had no idea that the man she once loved had become her greatest danger. It was 3 weeks before her due date when the nightmare began. At 3 a.m., a loud knock echoed through her house. Still half asleep, Naledi's heart pounded. She hesitated. Something felt off. "Who is it?" she called, her voice tense. "It's me," came Tafara's voice from the other side. Silence stretched between them. "I just need to talk," he added, softer now. "Please." She hesitated, but maybe, just maybe, this was his way of making peace. Maybe he had finally come to accept their daughter. Slowly, she unlatched the door. The moment it cracked open, Simba barged in, shoving her backward. Before she could even scream, a gun was pointed at her. "You think you can ruin my life?" Tafara snarled. Naledi's breath hitched. Her instincts kicked in. She turned to run, but her swollen belly made movement slow, and Simba was faster. A gunshot rang out, then another. Pain exploded in her chest. She stumbled, collapsing onto the cold floor, her hands instinctively clutching her belly as if she could still shield her baby. Her boys, woken by the noise, hid in the closet, their tiny hands clasped over their mouths to muffle their sobs. Tafara and Simba fled into the night, leaving her to bleed out alone. Tinashe emerged from the shadows, his legs shaking as he rushed to his mother's side. "Mom, Mom, stay with me," he sobbed, his trembling fingers pressing against her wound. Naledi gasped for breath, her lips parting as if to speak, but no words came. With blurred vision, Tinashe grabbed the phone. "Please, my mom, she's been shot," he choked out to the operator. But it was too late. Naledi Khumalo, the woman who had fought for love, for her children, for her unborn daughter, was gone. Anel never got to take her first breath. The police worked swiftly. With the testimony of her sons and neighbors, Tafara, Simba, and Chennai were quickly arrested. But then a shocking twist emerged. New forensic evidence revealed another man's DNA on the murder weapon. Had Tafara planned for someone else to take the fall? Had there been a fourth person involved? The answers remained unclear, but one thing was certain. This was more than just an impulsive act of rage. It was premeditated. The town of Marange mourned Naledi. Women's organizations, churches, and activists rallied for justice, demanding stronger laws to protect women from domestic violence and femicide. Naledi's sons were taken in by their grandmother, who vowed to raise them with the same strength their mother had instilled in them. And though Naledi's life had been stolen, her story was not forgotten. Her strength, her love, her defiance in the face of betrayal, they lived on. And while the fight for justice continued, one truth remained. Naledi Khumalo would always be remembered as a mother who stood strong even when the world turned against her. This is a true story. The end. Thanks for listening. What does it take for society to truly protect women like Naledi before it's too late?